Hey guys, Rob here from Night Solutions Canada. We're here with a quick install guide for the protective lens covers for the Holosun DRS thermal sight. Let's jump into it. All right guys, this is everything you're going to need to install the protective shields on the front of your Holosun DRS. So what you're going to need from the kit is the thermal sensor protector, the optic window protector, as well as a new front base plate that you'll replace the factory base plate on the front of the Holosun DRS. I'll show you that during the install. And then obviously you need a DRS itself. So let's clear some space. Let's open it up, the DRS, and get started. The things that we're going to be replacing today is we're going to be putting on a protective cover on the thermal sensor here, as well as a protective cover on the optic window. So in order to do this install, we need two tools. We need a hex bit or a hex key, a 5/64th size, as well as a torque driver. This is a T6 head on the torque screw. Okay, and where these come into play is the Torx is going to be the screws on the front base plate, and the hex driver is going to be for the screws that currently hold the cover, but will hold the protective lens on the front there. So let's just start with taking off this cover. Get those screws out. You can just take the cover right off. All right, so the next set of screws are right here on the front base plate. Once you've got the screws loose, you can open up the door itself and sort of wiggle the entire unit until the front plate comes out. Now, here's a spot to be careful. There are two springs on either side of this door that you want to make sure you do not lose. They will fall out, like this one here on the right side of the door. We need to keep that. And same with the one on the left side of the door. These are very important pieces. Do not lose those. We're going to take the door off the front panel as well. There's just a retaining pin that you can push through. Keep that in a safe spot, and then you can remove the door. This original factory base plate, you do want to keep the hardware from that. So let's start with mounting a new base plate here to the door. To mount the door, all we're going to do is line up the holes so we can put the retaining pin in. It'll pretty much free float in there. I generally will balance it between both sides, no big deal. In order to install the springs again, okay? These are left hand and right hand springs. There's a short side and a long side when it comes to the arms. Now with these springs, there's a little pathway or a little notch for the short side of the arm to line up with when you drop in the spring. If it's not lining up straight and it seems to be on an angle, it means that you're actually trying to put the left-hand spring in the right-hand side and vice versa. Take the right spring, short arm is going to sit inside the little channel on the pin retention sort of hole in there. Now, in order to install this to the front, it's simply, we're going to replace that base plate where it should go. Now, here's the extra step. I'm going to slide on the protector. It's meant to slide underneath and capture those long pieces of the spring. And all you're going to do is apply some pressure downwards and it's going to clip in. Now, all we need to do is replace those three mounting screws to the front face plate there. So there we go. Successfully installed the optic window protector. And the next thing we have to do is actually just mount the protector for the thermal sensor. And that's as easy as clipping it onto the front. You'll notice that there's one side of the rounded edge of the protector is a little bit wider or longer. That's for the top portion. So it should just clip in easy as that. Now we're gonna fasten this with the factory screws again. Then we take our lens cover. There's two little post arms on the housing of the protector, and all you're going to do is install the cover on those post arms, and there you have it. You're all installed. As always, if you had any trouble with this, please do just reach out. We'd be happy to help here at Night Solutions Canada. And until next time, guys, have an awesome day.